Hey, hi, and welcome to another episode of the all new TTown 411 report, along with our community conversation. We're broadcasting live from McKinstry Banquet Hall, located at 5480 Jug Factory Road here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's a special place for special people for all special occasions. Give us a call for your next special event at 205-826-7661. That'll get you in contact with us about your next special event. We're broadcasting now also on Soundbooth Radio 106.1 with my good friend Mike Wilson and on Soundbooth TV. Mike, tell them how can they chime in on Soundbooth Radio and Soundbooth TV.
Sure thing, Daryl. To check us out on the radio side of Soundbooth Radio, just go to your iOS or your Google Play Store, download the Live 365 app. Once you download that Live 365 app, then you type in the search bar Soundbooth Radio 106.1. That'll get you on with us on the radio side of Soundbooth Radio.
Well, Mike, we appreciate you each and every week broadcasting our program on the program.
Or you can type in Soundbooth Radio 106.1. Also, you can go to YouTube, type in Soundbooth Radio 106.1, and that'll get you on with us on Soundbooth TV. And you can check out all the shows that we do on a weekly basis.
Well, as always, our very own Miss Veronica Taylor, she brings up, she keeps us updated with the COVID update and the monkeypox update. So, Veronica, how you doing today?
Hello, hey Dale, hey Mike, how y'all doing? Hey
Great.
everybody.
Great.
Yes, let me click over for a second. I don't have my other device
Okay.
but I can click over just 1 second.
Okay.
Let's see. The COVID-19 update for today, August 17th. DCH Health System internal counts as of yesterday, August 17th, because they only update on Wednesdays now.
Mm-hmm.
There are 25 inpatients within the DCH system positive for COVID-19. 5 or fewer positive for COVID-19 are being treated in the ICU, and 5 or fewer inpatients positive for COVID-19 are on ventilators. As it relates to the monkeypox update for Alabama, per the CDC, as of August 18th, today, 2022, there are 34 cases in Alabama, and in the United States, the cases nationwide have gone up to 14,115.
Wow.
So roughly up, I think it was 13. It's roughly up like about 1,000. It was 13 something last week, and so yeah, it's gone up roughly about 1,000 nationwide, and it's gone up in Alabama by I think it's 4.
34
Yeah,
cases.
because I think it was 30, and now it's 34.
34 cases. And we talked about a couple weeks ago that, preparing people that this is going to visit our neighborhoods sooner or later. But before we get any further, I just want to go ahead and say a prayer for everyone, as we always do each and every week on the program. And if you all that's joined us, we want to thank you, Mr. Van Horn and Tony Knox and everyone else that has joined in. Let's say a quick prayer for everybody right now. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity to come on these airwaves and share among our family and friends information that will help one another in some shape, form, or fashion. Heavenly Father, we give you all the grace. We appreciate you. We thank you for all you do for us each and every day. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. Heavenly Father, right now we're praying. We want to say a special prayer for our very own Mr. Daniel Van Horn. Heavenly Father, we're asking that you touch the doctors and be with him during this surgery, Heavenly Father. We want you to be with him, and we asking in your Son, Jesus Christ's name, to heal him of whatever his surgery is for, Heavenly Father. Right now, we're praying for all our elderly and all the doctors and nurses and all the essential workers throughout the hospitals and nursing homes. We asking that you continue to watch them and protect them and their families, Heavenly Father, from these very, very dangerous plagues. Heavenly Father, we're asking that you continue to watch over all our police and fire and protect them as they try to protect us. Heavenly Father, we're praying for our presidents, our governors, our mayors, and all our city council and county commissioners. We're asking that you continue to watch over them and their families. Heavenly Father, we send a special prayer right now for all the pastors in our communities throughout this country. Continue to touch them and lead them to lead us to your kingdom, Heavenly Father. In your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Heavenly Father, we're asking that you also go with the benevolent families, the bereavement families, those that are suffering the loss of loved ones. We want to say one for the Simmons family who lost a uh, family member not too long ago. We're praying for them and all the families that have lost a family member, family or friend. Just let them know you're in charge, Heavenly Father, and your will has been done. In your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen, amen, amen.
Man.
We'll continue. We need to pray for those teachers and principals and everything going on. I tell you, it's so much going on, Tony. Tony Knox, thank you for joining. So much going on in this world, y'all. I tell you, we just don't know what's going on. I don't know if you watch the news. Kai Porter, thank you, sir, for joining in. Go ahead and share this. We got Patricia, thank you for joining in. We got Miss Shauna Moore. She's going to call in shortly. They're rehearsing for the upcoming play that's going to take place on the 21st. If you hadn't got a chance to get your tickets, go ahead and get your tickets. You can you still can cash app her, I think, at money sign Shauna D. Moore. I might put that back up in shortly. But the play is this Sunday, the 21st. This Saturday, the 20th. Saturday the 20th. They have two different times, one at 2 and one at 7. So we're looking for a call from them shortly. Tickets are still $15, y'all. You can get tickets for $15. Let's support Miss Moore on this very, 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 very great play that she's put together. This is her own personal promotion, and she's local. So let's try to protect her. Let's try to support her on her play. My Black is Blue. My Black is Blue. And we want to make sure, if you can, please purchase tickets to go out at either 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. this Saturday. Other announcements, if you're looking for insurance, don't forget about my good friend Alicia Jackson. You can contact her for all your life insurance, retirement, life benefits, and annuities. And you can call her 205-886-1462. 205-886-1462. That'll get you in contact with her. Or you can email her at aleeclnajwfg@gmail.com. You see it on the screen. If you need insurance, talk to her about retirement, life benefits, whatever. Please don't hesitate to contact Miss Jackson on that. And that number again, 886-1462. Don't forget, September the 10th is happening at McKinstry Banquet Hall. Miss Tina Sanders is bringing, and no more tears, she's bringing Leroy Hall, your favorite motivational speaker and street poet. Please, please, please buy tickets. They're only $30. You can contact Miss Tina Sanders. She's always on this program with us, and you will definitely enjoy what's coming. I'm not gonna spoil this surprise for a lot of people. I want you to buy tickets to come out and check it out. Want to make an announcement about Central High School. Once again, congratulations to Central High School for making national honors. And they have the girls, I'm assuming it's girls flag football team schedule. I have the football schedule. And I just want to take the time and thank the coaching staff, Dennis Connor, Deion Washington, and Christian Simmons, all of them, for being a part of the girls flag football team here at Tuscaloosa. And they have a game scheduled coming up on September the 1st. It's away at Bryan High School, but you can't catch them. Please go out and support this team. They are a great team. They was in the top 5 of last year, from my understanding. So please, let's go out and support the girls' flag football team. If you like football, this is an opportunity to like girls' flag football. So come on out, check them out at Central High School if you can. I think tickets are only $5, so please come on out and support this Central High School football team. Hopefully we'll have Chief Deputy Sanders on the program with us tonight. If he get a chance to call in, he do have FOP meeting tonight, and he advised me he might get a chance to call in. Um, but they're doing a motorcycle ride, a memorial ride for the investigator Dornell Crusette Memorial Ride. Now, the proceeds of this is for the Fallen Officers Memorial at TPD headquarters. So, in other words, there's a memorial plaque at the police department that they're putting all the names of law enforcement officers that worked at Tuscaloosa Police Department, I'm assuming, or throughout the county that are fallen officers, and they're redoing it. They have one there, but they're redoing it, and let's support them if you can. It is Sunday. Now this is Sunday, August the 21st at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Registration is 10 a.m. and the motorcycle ride is at 11 a.m. They're lining up at TTown Harley Davidson. TTown Harley Davidson is up on Buttermilk Road, up by the truck stop. 6401 Interstate Drive in Cottondale, Alabama. So $25 for riders, $10 for passengers. So please come by and join or make a donation toward the Investigator Dornell Crusette Memorial Ride. And the proceeds are going to the Fallen Officers Memorial. And that's being done by the police department, Buffalo Rock, who else that is on there? One other sponsors, a couple more sponsors. I can't see all of them. Sorry, so it's too small on my screen. But yes, please be a part of that in this coming Sunday. Um, let's see what else. Any other? Mike, you got your teen summit meeting. Talk about that right quick.
Well, yes, we had the first meeting for our team, the team initiative actually, is the initiative that we have put together. We talked about it the last team summit with the mayor giving his complete backing. Uh, and it's basically all the youth in the city and even county to get together and discuss some of the things that are bothering them and are also coming up with solutions. Um, Putting forth the effort and the actions to do things to help bring Tuscaloosa together as one whole Tuscaloosa, trying to unify us all. That, of course, is going on the 27th at 12:30. Um, at the uh, I have it on tip of my tongue. It's across the street from Alberta Elementary School. Um, I keep wanting to say the
School of Art, the
say
Gateway,
again.
the Gateway.
Gateway, that's it.
Okay.
Yes, the Gateway. It's going to be 12:30 the Gateway. So right now it's a small group. I guess the initial group that's starting off, but we hope to grow it as time goes on.
Okay. They should be calling you in just a second, Mike. While they do that, we're gonna play a couple commercials and we'll be right back. Okay.
All right, sound good.
All right.
Hello? Hey, Rick. I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother? I went down to Thomas Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie. And I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Red Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.
I want to go ahead and make this disclaimer. Right quick. 107. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. And we also like to let people know the opinions expressed in this presentation are my personal opinions and must not be construed as representing the opinion of any institution with which I am or have been affiliated with in my professional life, as well as Mike or Veronica. So we just want to let people know this is a very educational program. So it's not all about bashing anyone or anything. So it's a great, great, great program. Mike is our guest on the phone with us.
Yes, Daryl. Ms. Moore has just called in.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me get you there. How you doing, Miss Moore?
Hey, I'm good. How are you all this evening?
Okay, good, good, good. Let's talk about the famous play that's coming up this coming Saturday, August the 20th.
Yes, sir. We got My Black is Blue, written by yours truly, starring Xavier Anderson and Jasmine Holly. I have both of those guys here with me right now.
Wow. Okay, so we got.
How y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good.
Hey, how's it going?
We appreciate y'all coming on, telling us a little bit about yourselves and a little bit about this upcoming fabulous play.
Is this your first time acting in a play? Yes, sir. My name is Xavier Anderson. I'm from Holly Springs, Mississippi. And this is my first time working with Miss Shonda, More Shot Productions and everything. And it's going to be a good one. I have no doubts. Have no doubts. No stage fight or anything coming up, are you? No, sir. No, sir. Built for this.
So,
Glad to hear that.
so
how about your co-star?
Hey, how are you? My name is Jasmine Holly. This is actually my second show with Shauna Moore, and I am from Tuscaloosa.
Okay, a local person. Got a local with us.
Yeah, roll tide.
Roll tide. So tell us how what give us just a little sneak peek of what we are about to endure on Saturday at my tickets are for 7. I wish I could make it from 2, but I can't make it. My schedule is 2, but I'm looking forward to it. Tell us a little sneak peek about My Black is Blue. Now you know I'm a police officer, so the star you the star, you're gonna have to play that role pretty good now.
Oh, yes, sir. It's like just, living the life as a police officer, a black police officer is that, and just facing different challenges and, just facing different adversities. And, you just trying to stay in the middle instead of being on one side, and we just want justice for our black people out there. And I feel like this play is a good way to express how we actually feel, you know. And it's documented very well, and I feel like it's going to be a very good production if people just sit back and actually take the message for it. You know, it's going to be a great one. And you know, all I can say is, you know, just you just got to be there. You know, I don't want to give away anything and everything. You know, and it's nothing like having a good, strong black woman beside you. You know, supporting you through it all.
Right. And I played the strong black woman. I'm the loving wife, the ride or die, holding it down. Yeah, 10 toes down, my man.
The message in the name of the play, "My Black is Blue," it kind of sends it sends a strong message to society with things that are so much adversity that's going on with law enforcement and society. Uh, I guess it's Miss Moore. You still there, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm still here.
How did you come up with the name to make the relationship between what's going on in society with law enforcement and society today?
You know, I was searching through my brain, trying to come up with something that was fitting. And I mean, all I can say is God gave that to me. Because every time I start to write, you know, I go in writing mode, I just get myself in a quiet place and just allow Him to give it to me. So I can't write anything until He gives me the story. He gave me that title, and I'm super proud of it because it represents so much. My black is blue. My black police officer are black people in a blue uniform. I mean, representing the best of the best. Trying to be the bridge that gap. What is it? Trying to be the bridge that mends the gap between the good guys and the bad guys. So yeah, it's a very good story. It's about a strong black family in a black community, and this family supports each other. I mean, they go through a lot of, like Xavier was saying, they go through a lot of adversities, but not once did they ever lose support and faith in each other. And Yuri is the strong black woman who pushes her strong black man to be even better. She gives him a reason and a purpose to get out there and do the right thing for the community. But his ultimate goal is to always find his way back home to her safely. So that's, yeah, always putting God first. Always. You know, everything that I do is wrapped up and tangled up with God. I mean, the message is always there, it's strong. You know, this is a black family allows God to lead them. And so you're going to see a lot of different things transpiring during the course of the play. But the one thing that always remains true is their love and faith in God. And so, you know, even and in spite of everything that they go through, they're never gonna lose sight of that. That God is in control. And it may seem difficult at times, but God is still in control. So it's gonna be an amazing story. I'm super excited about these guys. They are very, very talented, the ultimate professionals. So I mean, you're going to be rewarded with something great, with a great experience. I mean, we've been practicing for a long time. We take it very seriously, and I'm super excited for what we have in store for you guys. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, you still have time. The rest of today and all day tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be the last day for the advance ticket, which is $15. All the castmates have tickets. You can cash out me at $ Shauna D Moore, and we can get you those $15 tickets or that guaranteed spot because the tickets are filing up fast. They're going out fast, especially especially those 7 o'clock tickets. So I mean, I don't know what it is about 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, but most of our people are gonna pushing to get to be at that production, at that show. We still got a lot of seats available at the 2 o'clock show, but just come on out and support us. You will definitely be surprised and not disappointed at all. You do not want to miss this show.
You don't want to miss it.
A lot of twists and turns.
I was actually going to ask y'all, did y'all take anything away from the show, or from the play, having been actors in it, and some of the messages that are going to be in the play? Did you take anything from it? Oh, most definitely. Just like me being a black man at that, I take a lot from it. And, just kind of like Shana guided me on how to tame my emotions, how to handle my emotions in different scenes, and how to just adapt to, like, just the people around you, how you supposed to walk in a room, feel the energy. I'm learning a lot from this play, man. And I feel like, a lot of people can take from it as well. A lot of people that's I want to say sleep to what's really going on in the community, and just definitely in Tuscaloosa, just keeping an eye out and just learning your history. It's going to teach you a lot.
Yes, and this show is definitely teaching me the importance of family and having that backbone, that strong support system, the love of God, faith, all that. It's just very important to have like a strong foundation behind you, especially in this world that we're living in today, facing all the adversities and challenges that we face daily. You gotta have a strong support system behind you. So that's what that show is definitely teaching me.
Yeah, and just keeping God first, like that's what's most important. Even when things happen that you didn't expect, like don't question God. Everything happened for a reason. Keep Him first.
Well, I already know this is. I already know it's
Okay.
gonna be a success. With you putting God first, it's definitely gonna be a success.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you said 15 minutes. I think we've done that. We got to get back to this rehearsal. But we definitely appreciate you guys for allowing us to come on to give us one more chance to just, say that we need your support. We appreciate you guys for coming out to support your local talent. There's a lot of talent right here in the city. My name may not be Beyonce, but we doing big things. I may not be, these guys may not be, who was that other day? Whoever was at the amphitheater the other day, Fantasia, whoever. We may not be them, but our names will be great, and you'll hear them in the spotlight. You will hear us again. So come on out and support your local talent. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Thank you so much for putting on this place here in Tuscaloosa. Once again, we got two shows going at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Saturday. The 7 o'clock shows are selling out really really quick.
Yeah.
You got to try to get them 2 o'clock tickets. Tonight and tomorrow, the last days to get the $15 tickets. So if you want to get $15 tickets, you might want to $ Shauna D Moore on the Cash App, and you can get
Secure spot. That's right.
And do you foresee it maybe having a bleed over into maybe Sunday another show?
Oh wow, that would be phenomenal. Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, we claiming it.
All right, okay.
We definitely claiming that. That would be great. That would be a great opportunity. But it's a lot of money that goes into putting on these productions. So we just have to see. We'll have to see.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But thank you so much again. We have got to get out of here to finish up this rehearsal. But
like they say in show business, y'all break a leg. Not literally. But it's show business time.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yeah, have a good one.
Thank you. You all too. Bye-bye.
Once again, if you want to get tickets, you can Cash App Miss Shauna. # Shauna D Moore, and that'll reserve your tickets.
And honestly, Daryl, this is one of them plays that's one of them things that might get me out of my hole. I don't go many places unless I just got to. Mm-hmm. This is one of those things that as far as it goes, we support local artists, so local talent. Like you said, there's a lot of talent here in Tuscaloosa. I've been saying that a lot since I started my station here. So is they put it out there on Front Street. All we got to do is go out there and see if we can be entertained. Mm-hmm. We have a playwright here. We have a movie. We had someone who did a movie here several months ago. So you don't have to go all the way to Atlanta all the time just to see something.
Well, Mike, on Tuesday we talked about homelessness on the show, and I just want to let people know this. By no means it was a form of degrading anyone. It basically what I try to do is inform people Because a lot of people is out of reality of what's going on in today's society. I mean, some people.
Daryl, I think Tuesday show kind of went the wrong direction than where it was supposed to go. I think it started off the way you're suggesting, but we had some people. Well, we had someone who had their opinion, and this is an opinionated show. So of course you're gonna have people that have different opinions on different topics that we might talk about. But it kind of seemed as though we put everybody in this. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody, we, but that particular person put everybody in the same box that was homeless. And of course, there are so many different reasons why somebody can be homeless. And when it's all said and done, what you put out there was a place that was helpful. Not just a place where they were going to have somewhere to stay, but also to help get them on their feet, to get them on medications if they need to be medicated, if they need help with their finances or anything. It's just giving them a place to go, and I think that got lost some Tuesday.
Yeah, I think sometimes we have to try to remember, even though we get passionate, like we stated that, we've always admitted that that is a good thing because your passion is what drives your fight for your community. But when you have such a personal, you've had so many personal experiences that have turned you around, sometimes you can approach conversations in a way where you may not think, you may think that you're informing or educating us, but what you're doing is talking about the education you received because of your experiences. And not to dismiss anybody's experiences because about everybody's had that experience with that person, but to also isolate a particular person and speak on what you see them do, that just was not that got to me. And I held back a lot on that because we as ones who are it's Daryl's show. Mike, you is yours co-host, and I come on to um, contribute to the conversation as well. But sometimes it's like I waited because I feel like it's you don't sometimes don't overstep because like I said, Daryl is co-host, so he has him. It's up to him to steer it the way it's supposed to go. But that particular show, people reached out to me, and it's like I got what they were saying because I got it in the midst of. So, like Daryl was saying, and like you reiterated, um, as Kai even said on Tuesday, there was no attempt by any of us to paint people with a broad brush. But I do know, and that's why I just kind of called in because sometimes things can be said on a person's show, and what's said by a guest or a caller or a visitor will implicate the host and those who are regulars in a way that they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
If something is taken from what that person said on Tuesday, it will be put out in the community and it will be like, that's what your show was about. That's what you do on that show. I know somebody right now involved in a lawsuit because they spoke on what's going on and they just kept on and they kept on and they kept on. Now, this is way worse than what happened Tuesday, but in the midst of what happened Tuesday, just during that hour, it was about a good hour. It was like beaten and beaten and beaten and beaten and beaten. And we already knew, like I said, no, none of us, the three of us on here, and nobody in the chat needs to be educated to as far as everybody has their personal experiences. We've all had that person where we know they're taking advantage of us, and we know they're not going to be right, but it's still some of your heart that wishes that they would, and you still say, okay, I'm not going to give you money, I'm going to give you a meal. There are ways around the things that were talked about on Tuesday, and I just felt like that was from a personal standpoint and as this being a show, I'm just saying, I know y'all wrong and y'all know, but I'm just saying sometimes when your guest says something, I've seen if it affects people in a certain way, those people tend to get a different perspective of the show that is not really there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I just want to remind people about what we talked about. And also tonight, what we're talking about is still once again, it's you know the topic tonight. We're talking about, has the church changed? I mean, has it since COVID? We had virtual church, we had, and people are gradually returning slowly but surely. Has it really changed? I mean, do people now? I think we call it bedside Baptist. Sometimes we call it. I think my son said something earlier when I told him what we were talking about. I forgot it already. But we have. I mean, has we changed the scope of church, or has the church changed? Been changed from the congregation, the pastor, the officers? What do y'all think? I mean, are people afraid to go back to church now, or has we found that the church is no longer playing a bigger role than it did before COVID? What's some of the reasons you think um, people are not fully returning back to church?
Well, in my opinion, I think that um, technology has allowed so many people,
Mm.
and I was guilty of it to a degree. That I don't feel like getting up, getting ready. I'll just I'll just watch it on Facebook. Or I'll just watch it on YouTube. The service.
Let me let Reverend Porter join the conversation. He's calling in. I might lose you. I'm not sure. This phone's still changing up on me. You still there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm still here.
It's doing the same thing. Like when I receive a call, it's showing that you're on hold and Veronica is actually talking. And then when someone tried to call me, that's why I've been sending a lot of people to your line, because I can't. When I try to swap it over, for some reason it's stuck on some. I don't know what mode it is. I don't know what mode it is. And
You
when
don't
I
have an airplane mode, do you?
no, because it wouldn't. If it was in airplane mode, it wouldn't allow no calls. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask people to call Mike's number if you can, to get in on this
But for some
conversation.
reason, Sean and Jesse can't get through on my line for some reason. The last time they tried, it was like,
So now, so I got Kai and I got Veronica. Now I lose Mike. I don't know what's going on.
I was about to say it was just like an open echo, like a.
Well,
You hear that?
Yeah, Mr. Porter's on the line now.
mm,
You there, Mike?
I am.
Veronica, you there?
Uh huh.
Now Kai's gone. People want to call Mr. Tell anyone call. Please call the 310-6067 number. I'm not sure what's going on for my phone. I'm gonna have to try another. I didn't cut it off and cut it back on today, so that might have something to do with it. But
A lot of people didn't even realize that, Darren, that you have to cut it, especially after it starts to get so old.
mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know that. I was supposed to just let it go, unless it went out and then, was charged and cut it back on. But you're actually supposed to cut it off and on at least every couple of days, every 3 days or so, or something like that. That's what I was told.
Yeah, to reset it, some kind.
To reset it, yeah, to reset it. It's an electronic device. So, um, I don't know if he's gonna be able to get in because he has always had a problem getting through on my phone. I don't know if it's the service or what that he has, but I think he and Jesse always had a problem getting through on my phone. So they might continue to try to call you. I'm not exactly sure. But what I was saying was I was guilty of doing and still is that sometimes you mess around and sometimes that snooze bar keep calling you instead of you getting on up. And then next thing you know it's too late to get to church. Well, I'll just watch it and I think that because you have that option, it's not like you're gonna get up and go. I had to put myself back in the mindset I was in prior to that if I can get up and go to work, I'm supposed to be able to get up and go to church. Um, so I had to make myself get up, even if I'm tired or whatever. And I'm not sure if everybody's feeling that way, but I think that's one huge thing that the technology allows you to just kind of be in. You ain't got to get ready. You ain't got to do anything. You just get up and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people on their phones watching. Um, and as far as other things, people are you got some people who like right now still looking at COVID. They look at the monkeypox, and they like I just ain't going nowhere. If I ain't got to go out, I'm not going out. I can watch church virtually. So that's another thing. And another thing after that is security measures in churches now.
Mm-hmm.
All this stuff is starting to pile up, and you have some people that just downright afraid. In my opinion.
Now, you said something about technology is probably causing it. So, should should the churches discontinue live streaming on Facebook or YouTube right now?
I don't I don't think I don't I think that's the way everything goes. You know what I'm saying? You had to adapt. And those churches that are not streaming, they kind of get left behind. So I don't I by no means think that they should stop streaming live at all. It has always actually been some churches that did. Some churches did their broadcast on TV. You'll see them on local channels. Um, but it's just so easy now because most everybody, not everybody, but most everybody has an electronic device, um, and they are able to access their electronic device and watch their service as it goes on. So I don't think that's something that they should stop. I just think that it became a somewhat of a crutch to a lot of people.
It's yeah, and I think it is affecting numbers for its attendance. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm certain a lot more people are guilty of it. It's like Sunday school. Has it been abolished? You don't see Sunday school services. I mean, being presented. Well, I'm gonna just say I don't. I don't see Sunday school uh, services being done through the live streaming. Um, and when you go to some of the churches, the numbers, of course, is down for people attending Sunday schools. Um, but Sunday school at some churches were higher, and then some were lower anyway. But I'm just saying, by you saying the word technology has been a crippling determination of attendance and going back to the church for worship service. Um, I'm highly thinking, Mike, it's to the point where if you discontinue, will the people return?
And the reason why I say I don't think that's is because the other two things I also brought up was security now and then the two like the COVID and the monkeypox. Like like literally you have some people that are borderline hypochondriacs right now because they hear anything, whatever is said on the news, whatever is said, actually on social media. They absorb it, and that's just how it is. They don't want to go outside, pick up anything. They don't want to go outside and see anybody, so they become recluses, and so they want to continue to get their service. They'll just watch it on technology.
Well,
Now the numbers inside the actual churches are down, but the attendance is actually up. I think by way of social media, and I think that they're receiving a lot of their offerings and tithes and offerings through electronic means as well.
yeah, that's true too. But I think It's just not the same for us being in the presence of the building.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that it's something about being in a sanctuary that is packed and you just feel the spirit going all the way around it, all the way around it the whole entire time. You leave there feeling full, you feel left feeling like you on cloud 9 and you ready to accept and handle everything that comes your way. Uh, I don't necessarily think that you get all of that on the electronic version of it. It's just a feeling that you don't get. It's watered down if you would. I think
Well,
you still have it, but I think it's watered down a bit.
let's take this in consideration. I used to love the choirs. I mean, the mass choir of hearing different members of the church that would lead different vocalist songs and stuff. So that is also missing, of the fact of having the choirs, the 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 sopranos, the altos, and making those different angles of a song, sounds of a different song compared to just we just have the praise worshipers or the Bulanites as we call them. So it's just like a few people that sing, but it just like you said, it's like there's a watered down version of what technology has caused a watered down version of church service. But there's some pros and some cons, and some of the things I do like about being, and this probably gonna be one number one thing people gonna agree with. By being live streamed, you go from a 10:30 service to a 1:30 or 1 o'clock to a 10:30 to 12 o'clock. So the time has been cut by an hour on a lot of situations that I've noticed. And when you live stream it ain't like you editing like we doing for us. Oh, let me go to commercial break. Oh, let me put it all on mic. Oh, let's do this. Well, it's real time. In other words, what we're dealing with now is real time, and you're not editing to cut it down like you would for a 30-minute television show. So I mean I know when we had two services. We had an 8 o'clock service and a 10:45 service. 8 o'clock service. Sometimes you get out at 9:30, 9:45. Almost running to church. I mean, running to Sunday school service. Then you started a 10:45 service, and then sometimes you getting out at 1:30 ish almost. Sometimes it just depends on the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So
depending on how the pastor preaching that day, and if it's hitting them.
Right.
I agree with you. I do think that they shorten everything a bit. And truthfully, I've gone to a lot of churches like that. That if you don't mess around and eat something before you go up in there,
Come on.
what I'm saying, you want to sneak out and get you a crack or something.
Well, I applauded some churches. They used to even serve breakfast at 8 o'clock to get you there for Sunday school, and then you go from Sunday school 8 o'clock from that 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock for Sunday school, and then from 9 o'clock to your 10 o'clock service to about 10:45. That's 3 hours already, and then some people stay over for the next 10:45 service. So just imagine, and nothing wrong with it. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying because you go to work 8 hours a day. I'm just saying some people are there at that particular time from 8 o'clock to that 1:30, 1:45 sometime. So
And not trying to endorse nobody, but I can honestly say that Bishop Evans don't ever. Yeah, well, if you in there past 12:30, something went terribly wrong. Um, so I think that there are some pastors that get the word out, they know how to get it out, and then there are some that the spirit, it's. I'm not saying that he don't them, but the spirit take them, and they'll talk all day. Um, and you have people in there white eyeing, um, baby being in their sleep.
What's more effective, Mike? Do you think the is it just traditional that we want to hear choir songs, prayer, devotion, then the sermon, and then another choir, and then opportunity to join the church? Is it just the tradition of that is more impactful, or is going straight to the word of God from the pastor? You know, maybe one song, hey, word from the pastor, and a song, and going home.
Well, and I think it kind of depends on how everything goes. Some people, some church choir will have you want to sit down up in there all day. That's just how it is. And if that, I think that if the pastor is able to 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 merge the two, it is a great service. Um, but then, of course, you know, you got some pastors that they talk a lot, and the choir might not be all that. It might not even be that big of a choir. Um, and at that time, you start getting people that start like, oh, okay, the program says this will be the last song, and we finna get up out of here. So they more looking to get up out of there. I don't. It just kind of depends on what church you go to, what pastor you go to, and whether or not that's the place for you. I think that once you find a place for you, then every time you go, you get something. If you go and you don't get something, that might not be the place for you. That might not be the church for you.
That might be true.
In my opinion.
That's totally true. That's totally true. But have and people, y'all can join this conversation 310-6067, 310-6067. I see Betty Hopkins said because our church now is from 10:30 to 12:30. And Patricia was making referring to reasons people don't return back to church, so because of health reasons. That's, you know, to speak on the health reason, I guess, or any reasoning that people can't attend church. Let's say work, hospital, health reasons, just don't, and being psychotic about catching germs or anything, whatever reason. All those are good reasonings for not to attend. Don't get me wrong. It's just, do we think people will actually get back to what we are used to as traditional church? Like you say, the 250, 300 people in a pew. So, in other words, is there a real reason now to build a mega-sized church?
Well, I've never been a person that wanted to attend a mega sized church anyway. But as far as going to something like right now, Daryl, the one thing that you go to a church and for this, maybe just churches I've gone to, is always people that's going to want to hug you, shake your hand, or something like that. And there are some people right now who are so dead set against even being six. They don't want to be 6 feet in front of it or around anybody. So it ain't like they got those pews set like they did initially. It was okay. You sit in one pew, you had to skip a pew, and then a third pew. They're not doing that anymore, and now people coming in, they coming in late, they scragglers, and you got people sitting beside you don't know like that, and I think people was feeling uncomfortable. I'm not saying that that's the only reason, but I think that there got to be some people that's feeling that way, and they I can do this at home, and I ain't got to be around other people getting their germs. I ain't got to worry about potentially catching a monkeypox or a COVID.
Good point. Good point. Once again, you can join the conversation, or if you got a comment, you can call us at 310-6067. And I do apologize for my phone line not being able to.
Kai, if you trying to call me on your phone, you might want to get somebody else's phone and try to call because or if they I don't know what service you work with, but you might want to try another number because for some reason your phone don't seem to come through. And Jesse, if you're trying to call.
Well, let me see. Can I call Kai? I'm trying to see if it'll work by me calling him and then merging us all back together. And he's not.
Hello?
Hey, Brother Porter, I'm gonna see can I merge us now. Hold on for a second.
So a shift before. I know as far as mega churches.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got.
I know as far as mega. Hello.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I know. Okay. I know as far as mega churches. They're just mega. And it seems like I think mega churches aren't back to what they were, but it looks like by what I see when I do watch stuff on social media or TV, look like they're probably close to back to being close to normal, more so than smaller scale churches.
Mm.
And that's kind of, I don't know if it's something that they're doing, or you know how like people just sometimes people want to be there, or they want to be amongst the people, or they want to be, whatever's going on. I hear it's kind of on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the line. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Okay, because something is in the background.
Yeah.
And it's usually his TV or something. But it sounds like a radio in the phone. But a lot of times with the mega churches, the bigger churches, it seems like what I've been seeing lately, like I'll watch if I see a mega church on TV, it seems like they're not quite to the capacity that they were. But then when I look at the more local churches that may come on WPUA, it seems like the mega churches are kind of back closer to their pre-pandemic capacity than the smaller churches. Now, I don't know if it's a location or if it's a geographical thing or if it's just the fact that regardless of geography, regardless of wherever it is, maybe it's just the fact that it's a mega church. It seems like people finally got comfortable being able to go to church in plain clothing or get in the first service or the second service because of the job mail. They make it off at 7, so they'll go ahead and catch that early service. And some people want to sleep in a little bit, catch the traditional service, or some churches may have even pushed their traditional services back a little bit later, but they didn't keep people so long. And it seems like certain churches, they go in, they do what they have to do, and they leave. And to me, it looks like more traditional churches seem like they still is like, remember back in the day, everybody be at Ryan's eating, be finishing, and we be just getting out of church.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 1 o'clock getting out of church, and these folks already had breakfast and lunch, and we're just not heading in. So a lot of times people are like, I'll tell you an experience. I won't say the church, and I won't say the pastor, but this lady was getting up because she had to go to church. I mean, to work. And, I understand that, you know, worshiping God comes first. But had she lost her job, was he going to pay her? She got up, she had to go. And then and see, and a lot of times it's like I was saying, it depends on the church, it depends on the pastor and stuff like that. But, and most of the congregation is used to him, but that particular day, it kind of threw me because I'm like, she's like, oh, I had to work. He's like, he's almost finished. They won't mind you being a little bit late. What if she had gone to work and they fired her? He didn't, based on what he said, because he said it as if he meant it. She sat down. And sometimes I think the size of the church, how traditional it is, how the pastor is, determines whether or not has been determining whether or not some people who didn't go after the pandemic, whether they're going back or not. Sometimes it takes you to sit back and look at things when you haven't been around for a while and say, well, I'll do it this way anyway, because when it was there, this, and this. And it just seems like maybe some of the more traditional churches there. I see people like when they're on TV, I see people are there, but those who are these mega churches still not filled, but it seems like they're more. And then there's different reasons for that. Like some people, they don't care what's going on. They gotta be seen or they gotta go see. Or they just want to be there. And some people it's just the true nature of want to be served in the house.
In the worship in the church
Right.
service. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, right. So it's like I don't, mega church, small church. Whatever makes you more comfortable, that makes you more comfortable. And so you're gonna go regardless. But I think as far as if we look in general, some of the people that were going pre-pandemic, and it's like, you know what? All these folks, we headed out, and these folks leaving lunch, like they leaving Ryan's. We just going. Some of those people probably thinking, well, I can see it on TV, and then I can not have to wait so long for lunch. I can not, the pastor be talking about, y'all, I know y'all ain't ready to go. And then you got the folks looking something, stay on up, pastor, preach, pastor. And then you got people looking like uncomfortable, like okay, it's already like 105, and he still hadn't closed out the sermon. So I think a lot of people are noticing things that they noticed while they were there, and after the pandemic, and it's like they're like, you know what, we'll watch it, and they just hadn't gone back yet, and they may intend to, but they just hadn't. And then, like Mike said, you got the other stuff about security. You got, don't want to be too close to people because it seems like wherever you go, no matter how much you've informed some people, they still gonna come up on you, trying to hug you, kiss you, and all that stuff. And some people just rather not. They just rather stay home, or just even if they're not home, they just rather not be in that close capacity. Just kind of because at church now they aren't. I don't think they're sitting like they were sitting. When everybody was kind of trying to get back, and you had to like maybe sit 2 seats apart and stuff like that, kind of distance. Maybe only so many were in. I don't think that there's a limit anymore.
You got to sit in the same pew.
I don't think there's like those limitations anymore. Are they still doing the sanitizing? Like I know some churches are, but are they still sanitizing as much? Are they still doing some of those things? And some people may go and see that they're kind of slack in church, kind of like everything else, and then they're kind of like, well, they're gonna stay home because they're just not quite comfortable yet.
We got
But I also think that even before the pandemic, maybe some people, I don't know. I would be well. I'm curious to know if some people were kind of, what they were thinking pre-pandemic too.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think I see a lot. At one time it was hand sanitizer when you walking through and coming into the sanctuary, all around the sanctuary. It was always somewhere where you squirt your little hand sanitizer. I don't see that much. I can't see much of anything, but it's like I don't. You don't have those little stations around as much anymore. I don't think. Right. What you said, it rings so true. Uh, you go in and you've been there since 10:30 and it's 1:30 and I'm gonna get done. I'm gonna be done in a minute, and you got a few folks take your time, and when they say take your time, you know that you're gonna be in there another hour. And once again, I think a lot of people, especially younger people, they like, man, shoot, man, I'm hungry. I ain't ate nothing. I thought we was gonna be up out here. We supposed to be going to, we supposed to be going out to eat when we get through. We're here, and in the wintertime, the sun getting ready to go down. Um, and you got to go back at 6 o'clock. So I saw a lot of posters like that. I probably ain't gonna do that now. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'm just saying that I feel like if younger people probably have that type of mentality. I think older people were fine with it because it's something they were used to all their life.
But did y'all see many that have the outside services more so? It seems like as long as weather was good, it seemed like those who had the outside services that I saw had a pretty good attendance.
Yeah.
Like it was in the parking lot. It seemed like they had pretty good attendance.
Absolutely. I think friendship was one of the main ones.
That you could still sit in your car, or you could sit outside the car, but because you were outside, and it wasn't just like packed. And like Mike was saying, like if your family's on the pew, well, if you're in the parking lot, your family's in your car, or you're in your little spot, you're in your area, your distance. Even if the parking lot is somewhat packed, because they were having a megaphone, so you can listen with your windows down.
And the thing about that, I know when Friendship was doing it, they were doing it and folks were outside. But then he actually also wound up preaching to that neighborhood. Because you had people that let their windows up.
That's
They sit on their porches.
Sit on the porch.
It was a lot of people in the area that came outside and sat on their porches to hear the service and be a part of the service. And then also, there was some that came up and got saved.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason why I say the technology part. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Sean, but I want to say the technology part is double edged in the aspect of it might water some things down, but it also brings a lot of folks back to the church. A lot of people probably don't go to church because I haven't been in so long, and I know when I walk up in there, folks will be looking at me funny because they were like, "Well, where you been at?" Mm-hmm. Or if you let's say you 45 years old and you feel it, and they ask you if you want to be saved. Now because I was at the church, and a guy walked up, and I won't say he was 60, and he wanted to get saved, and they was like, I can't believe he ain't been saved. He's 60-something years old, and like that, you know what I'm saying? That's stuff that you hear too. So
it can be a turnoff. It can be a turnoff when you have members who reflect like that. We had a 90-year-old came up and got saved, but the reaction was we were happy. We were happy. We celebrated. There has been incidents that I've seen myself where people come out and apparently they came from they were members of the halfway house, and they came down to be saved. But I'm listening to members just whisper like, Pastor, no, he ain't got no business saving them folks. And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know this about it, but God revealed that to me about them. And I was disgusted and I was hurt by it, but I knew to say a prayer for them, because at that point when you hear things like that, that individual who's making a statement, they don't have the wherewithal or the understanding. I need to pray for myself. So when you hear that, you immediately, if you know the Lord, you're going to immediately go in prayer on their behalf. You're going to ask God to forgive them for what they just said or what they did prior to hearing that and after hearing that. Veronica was stating about this minister who said something to a woman who had to go to work. That was not God, what he said to her. That was him. That he came at her using God. Now, his danger was using God as an umbrella to his own personal issue with her getting up, having to leave, or going or about to leave and go to work.
And Howard, I don't think he understands.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think he understands that not only that people truly, they think, like sometimes people think something is cute to say. Yeah. They think they're keeping it cute. But you really got people, young, middle-aged, and old, who's saying, so she's saying she's on her way to work. And I think it was a medical facility. And you say that, and when she sits down, you didn't say, baby, go, I'm just talking. And this is an old timey type pastor. I love those type of pastors, but he didn't say that. She sat down and she stayed for the remainder of the service. And my thing is, what is the message not only to her but to the rest of the congregation?
Exactly, because that's a loud message. It's a very loud message that he sent out to her. I was basically in that situation he was talking about, for as what would my job say? Back when I worked at Hart Bakery, the first year and a half, it was all good. I was off on Sundays and Mondays. I had to work on Saturdays, and I didn't care. And all of a sudden, a year and a half later, he decided to change the schedule unbeknownst to any of the workers. And so I had to go to work, and I was off on Saturday. And when I came to work, they showed me, said, "Man, you ain't gonna like this." I was like, "What?" And they gave me a schedule. And I looked down, and I see my name by my schedule saying I got to be to work at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning. I said, "Oh, no, 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 no. This is not going to work." And so I did go in the office, and I did speak to my supervisor. I said, "Look, you need to change this." He's like, "What?" He said, "Well, you're going to be off on Sunday." I said, "I don't care what Sunday. I don't want my Sundays interrupted." And he was like, "What you talking about?" I said, he said, "You gonna have Saturday off, you stay on the UA, you can make a lot of money, you can park the cars in your yard." I said, "Man, I don't care about parking no cars in my yard. I'll work any Saturday you got. Don't you take my Sunday away." Because I know right now in my life, I know how bad I need you. And if you interrupt that Sunday of mine and I got to work, I said, "This is not gonna be good. I know what I'm going back to. I'm going back out in the street. I know what's going to happen. And if I catch you out here on your way to work or leaving going home in the evening, I might throw a gun up in your face." That's what I'm talking about. That's where I came from. And so he was like, "Well, you got to go to work." I said, "Look, let me tell you something." I said, "When I'm pastor ends church," I said, "service ends around 1:30, 2 o'clock." I said, "Until then, that's when you'll see my face up in this place." I said, "You can fire me, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm not coming 2 o'clock." Later I learned that by law they can't fire you on the job based on whatever time you get off on Sunday or get out of worship service on Sunday. They can't do that. That's against the law. Um, they had to find some way to work it out. Now I went home and I told my mom about it, and she said to me, she said, "Well, we got an 8 o'clock service. You go to 8 o'clock service, and they serve breakfast at the 8 o'clock before Sunday school, to get that in." And I was like, "Mom, right now in my life, if I don't have all of it, I don't want none of it." It's like it's the determination in the individual of how bad and how much they know they need God in their life. And at that point, right then, I knew how bad. I mean, still know how bad. I still need it. Um, people have been not showing up for different reasons well before the pandemic. And people have been throwing it up in their face, like, "Where you been?" That's one of the things I can't stand, whether it's at worship service or going to a family member's house. If you look at me after not seeing me for a while and you say to me, "What brought you around this way? I ain't seen you around here," or I forgot who we were and all that, you say that to me, you probably won't never see me again. I can't stand that. So with that with me, you really got to walk a fine line. Because if you already know, if I hadn't seen you in a day, or if I hadn't seen you in 20 years, if the last time we saw each other and it was a smile on each other's face and we hugged and we gave love, showed love to us, I expect that same love 20 years later. I expect that same love one day later. I don't expect no different. And so, with electronics being in the church, I've never been a fan of it. I've never been a fan of it. Even preachers who preach from an iPad or a cell phone, I've never been a fan of that. But based on the circumstances, the situation that we find ourselves in with the disease, with the COVID and now monkeypox, precautions had to be made. Yes, a lot of mega churches have more people in them versus smaller local churches, and some churches have less. local churches have lacked on their preventive measures, as well as, okay, they see that, you don't have to do certain things. They weren't doing certain things at hospitals like they were in the beginning. And so a lot of places of worship have adopted the same mind frame, yet we sit here knowing that people are still dying, because I got to go to a funeral Saturday. My aunt passed away from COVID. So this thing isn't over. It's not stopped. And then you got monkeypox. It's you can just dab somebody on the hand with the backside of your hand, and you can still get it. You can transfer it that way. You can touch a countertop, and you can get it from somebody else touching who had it, touching that same countertop. You can get it through the transfer of cash, change. Somebody handing you some change from what you may have purchased or bought, and you can get it that way. So these things we have to uh, be more careful. And then, like, coming to a worship service, we definitely have to be stayed up on it. The only situation for is ventilation, and that's something people really need to address. Uh, the airline company, when you go, what they have for is ventilation in an airplane. I only know one restaurant in was it Atlanta. I can forget the name of the restaurant. The lady who owns it was a flight attendant, and so she brought the same system. She went and got the same system and put it in her restaurant, where the air that comes out of it goes throughout the restaurant, where and when it comes back up to the duct, it's recycled and it's cleaned before it goes back out again. And I don't know of no place of worship, mega or small, local storefront, it doesn't matter. I don't know of none of them have that kind of airflow system built into their building. And I think that's needed. Um, that is something every place of worship needs to consider doing and converting in their places of worship.
Let me interject on that right there. Actually, one of our viewers, George Davis, has he's a representative, I think, of a system that you're talking about, and I think Bethel might have invested into it. I I haven't really heard much about it, but I've heard about that system you're talking about, and actually, George Davis, who normally is on the program with, he's a sales representative for that particular system here in Alabama, here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I think he might be the only sales
And
representative.
Dad, weren't they talking about that for the schools? Did the schools ever get that? Because they were talking about ventilation, upgrades, like getting ventilation systems, and it was talked about and heard about, but I don't know if it ever happened after they went into kind of like everybody basically homeschooling if they chose to. Did they ever follow through with that with the schools?
I don't think they did, but I can't say they didn't. But he brought up a very interesting point about that airport system, that air system, airflow system, that purifier or whatever you want to call it. But George Davis, I think, is probably one of the only people here in Tuscaloosa that sells that particular air purifier. And it like he said, it cleans the air and resubmit it back into the atmosphere. It's kind of like I guess you could say
Recycle.
recycle.
It's kind of what NASA be doing with the air up in the shuttle and stuff.
Exactly, and that's exactly where he said this system was built from. This George was telling me this whole system was built through NASA, about NASA, or something of that nature, or same components as what NASA is using to recycle the air.
Excuse me.
Bless you, bless you, bless you.
Thank you. It just and one thing that the Port was A lot of people were finding reason not to go to church even before pandemic. This is the pandemic wound up being another reason I think people started backsliding pertaining to going to church. But then at the exact same time, you saw a willingness of people who did decide to start going to church once again because of electronic. Now, I said it before, it's a double-edged sword. You got some pastors out there who get their sermons and stuff offline. Not necessarily if I get that. But as far as just broadcasting what you're doing, basically making your service the same thing that we're doing with TTown 401 right now. If you're doing that, I don't really see a problem with that. I think that you actually opening up more people to be able to catch the word. Um, and they might actually decide to come in to the sanctuary if and when they can. Now, some of those people probably don't have transportation to some of these churches, so that's why they do the technology thing.
Well, you know,
That's
Mike.
true. And some people really were eager to go back. Some people were really missing it and eager to go back. But then you had some people who maybe like they were like for many reasons were happy to be able to go home because now you go to church. If you don't have any money in your pocket, they go to pass up their doggone machine. Come out, we got the machine for you to swipe your card. And a lot of people feel put on the spot with it.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of different reasons. Of course, there's not near the only reason, but that's when you want to just think of different reasons. You have some people who were eager to go back. It doesn't matter what, they wanted to go back. They felt like they need to be in the church. But then the other people, they were like, some people, because now they said they're more lenient with the clothing and stuff like that. But you had some people like, man, I ain't got no money, so they're not going. Or I don't have money to tithe this week, so they don't go. And then it's like you can go before they started getting those credit card machines and debit card machines. They were like, well, you just didn't, you just passed the thing. But now they'll sit there and say, oh, we take the machine, we got a machine. So sometimes people are feeling put off, not even by the pandemic and what's going on. It's just by the new workings of what's going on. Like I said, technology. The church even started getting a machine. Then next, where they charge you, this is like Taco Casa. They tell me if you don't pay with cash now, it's a fee on your card. Will the church start to do that?
Well, most restaurants are charging the extra fee due to the fact that it's being charged from the card machine.
Yeah, some of them have been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the relationship that they have with the company or something like that. So some of them
they always get charged. They always got charged a fee for using debit cards, and now they're trying to pass it on to the customer. And really,
that's why they started. That's why they started charging the customers back then, even before now.
Well, the major thing is now more people, and Sean just alluded to it a minute ago. How filthy actual money is, and most people now just use their card for everything. So now it's like it's guaranteed money to them, extra money to them. I saw an expose on that on the news.
It may be, but I just know a lot of people don't like being if their church feels put on the spot when somebody brings up a debit card machine, like credit card, debit card, whichever one it is, like
ATM.
And that may deter some people from, because if I go to church, I don't have any money. Okay, I don't walk up and put anything in the basket, or when the basket comes around, I don't put anything in. But then when they say, oh, for everybody who doesn't have any cash, we got a machine. And then I'm still looking at some people like, they looking, the expression on their face like, really?
Yeah, I think that's money in general. I personally have gone to a church where they passed the plate around. It had to be 3 times. After that third time, they said, we didn't make
after so many times, people don't feel a certain type of way. They don't feel ashamed, or they don't feel embarrassed. If you've given money in Sunday school, and then you've given money in church, and then they come around third time, if you've given at least one other time, people don't tend to have a shame. I'm talking about people who are sitting there, may not have any money. I'm not talking about a specific group of people when it comes to church. And I'm sitting there watching them say, well, we got a machine. Or as they watch the play go and see that some people aren't putting anything in. And y'all know we do have machines, and then they raise the machine up so people can see. And people get a squirm. Like, really? So that is just one of quite a few reasons that many people may have. That may be one of 5 reasons for one person, and it may not be one of 3 reasons for the next person. Yeah, but it's reasons that I paid attention to and seen. I've seen. I think you're right. I think you're quite right, actually. Because it's like you said, if you got 3 times, even the people who have paid 2 a little squirmish about the 3rd time, except for those who are confident enough to know, you know what, I paid my tithe. They keep passing around, I just keep passing around because they know. But imagine that person who just doesn't have any money. Right. And it's probably what's going through their head is like, what about to come as you are? Does it just apply to clothing?
There's a lot of complications, I guess you can use for it when it comes to church traditions of passing the basket and greeting of the ushers and, being called out, different stuff like that. What about, and we ain't gonna stay too much longer, y'all. That yarn hit me there. That yarn hit me today earlier.
All right, now, we don't want you to do it like you did
I'm not. I rather cut it off this time. But I see where the medical marijuana is about to be put in place in city of Tuscaloosa. I seen Kip Turner talking about he wanted Tuscaloosa to be one of the first dispensaries. So do you think that's going to be where the CDC shops already at? Or because I don't know of anyone that's African American that own or do the CDC Delta 8, whatever you want to call it, ownership. So is that something that we should be kind of getting ready for?
First of all, the person you said made me have to clear my throat. Secondly, as far as when that comes down to dispute dispensaries and everything, because how people have been doing their research on dispensaries and seeing how lucrative it has been in other areas, I have no doubt that you'll see a lot more African Americans that doing it. I think that they do sell what is it, THC. If it doesn't have THC in it, then it's supposed to be legal. I think that's what it is. That's correct. That's correct. So they sell little oils and stuff like that, even at GNC and stuff like that. They sell that in some of these tobacco outlet places and everything. Like you can do that as long as it don't have THC in it. But when medical marijuana gets here and you have a prescription, um, and now if I'm not mistaken, I think all that stuff is still federally regulated, and you have to have it as a cash basis business. But I think that it's a lucrative thing. I understand my sister and my stepdad were looking into it one time. Neither one of them don't stay in Colorado, but they were talking about they ought to get them something to go to Colorado just because they want to invest in something. So,
Well, I mean, Alabama's if medical marijuana go good, I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking, Mike. It's just me personal opinion. I see recreational marijuana coming. Do you think? Do you think recreational marijuana sales would come before lottery and gambling, or do you think none of them will come?
I'm leaning more toward none of it, but just because of who we have in power in the state of Alabama. But if it was to happen, I would definitely think the recreational marijuana. And the reason why I say that, and for the probably be too, as we were privy to go into people's homes, um, we saw people that you would never would have thought would have marijuana in their home. And I just leave it like that. I ain't gonna get into the detail about who or what we, but you'll see certain things like that, and so for them to be able to be so enough free to do it, I think that they go for that a lot faster than they would with the lottery or gambling, which I'm still trying to understand how we can let millions of dollars go to surrounding states every time we the lottery. Every time they talk about a lottery. We just had a $1.38 billion jackpot. Was that like 2 Thursdays ago?
Mm-hmm.
Two Thursdays ago, and they had the news out. They had one in Tennessee, one in Georgia, one in Mississippi, and one in Florida. And at the state line of each and every last one of those places that the news people were at, all you saw was Alabama tags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
instead of our leaders looking at that as like, y'all, as them, you leaders, you guys are acting, the common sense is missing you all with that. Instead of them looking at it that way, they look at it as the Bible thumping. Oh, we don't need no gambling over here. I'm like, okay, but we're talking about the state. How can that help the state? Because there's supposed to be a separation. So how could gambling help the state? And especially with tickets. When you're talking about tickets, it's not like you got people gathered up at a casino, maybe, eating, drinking, hanging out. What's so hard about just selling tickets? You may have lines.
and the sad thing is, if you had won that $1.38 billion, let's say you got it from Mississippi, and you were a resident of Alabama, you still got to pay state tax on it.
Not on Alabama, I don't think.
You don't think so?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
because they're going to ask you, have you won or
They,
it's just like if you go purchase computers or something.
they
It's
get.
some type of way in the taxes where they want to know if you may have gotten a break in Las Vegas where you just happen to go there and purchase some computers. If it's so much that you spent, they want to know about it. Of course, I'm sure many of them don't tell them, but on your Alabama income tax, they ask you something to that effect. Have you won a large, is either lottery or casino winnings? It's something about they try to get some of your out-of-state winnings.
Oh,
They
I'm
try
sure
to
they
put a
is.
tax on it.
I'm sure you're gonna get some.
But won't even allow it. Won't allow it. If you allowed it, you would automatically get the tax on it, on whatever it is. And then if you're a resident, I guess they take it as income. So that's not really a loophole, but I guess they kind of figure, well, that's income. Because it's just like when people go to get food stamps or whatever, they want to know everything you got. So when it comes to taxes, y'all know they want to know everything you got. Except for the exemptions that they do put certain amounts of inheritance and stuff like that.
With people say on disability of any sort, if they don't have a child on there, it won't. Even people on disability, they can own as many houses they want. They can own as many cars. They can invest in the stock market. They can win publishers in the house. They can hit the lottery. But it will be still left up to them to say, you can stop my check. Otherwise, the check got to keep flowing. They can't penalize you for none of your money.
I'm looking at it here. It says that Alabama doesn't. It says Alabama, no taxes on lottery winnings. But is that because we don't have one? So, but is it still included as your income? Because it's something in the tax books that asks you about, and it may be the federal book that I'm thinking about, but it's something in there that asks you if you want, because that's the reason that some people go ahead and pay up front, or
That's
you
why
know,
them
take it
sums
as like
come
an
out.
income. But
You
that's
pay
kind of with
taxes.
federal, so I don't know if state,
You
but
pay
that is the
taxes
reason a
on
lot of people go ahead and pay up front and they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you pay taxes once you awarded the amount that you got.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
pay
pay
for
the tax
that.
on it. It just depends on how you want to get it, how you gonna get taxed.
But you don't have to that's for people who are taxpayers. People like myself and Mike, if we wanted, we would have to.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that in the book. I don't see a difference made for somebody on disability. If you win, that's just like
Don't think we're
that's
wrong. Yes, we will.
yeah. They don't say that. They don't care about your disability because you become an instant millionaire. That's just like who's gonna work.
I read up on it in the Mayo Clinic.
In the Mayo Clinic, okay, guy. But Mike, you need to let them know. You win the lottery and think you ain't gonna pay taxes if you want to because you classify as disabled.
The disability, I can't think of that.
All I'm saying is, if I win a lottery, y'all know that I'm gonna be on the island somewhere. And
But then again, it depends on what you win. Who cares? Like what the winners that they're giving right now, what people are here for right now. Who cares? That's why some people are taking the lump sum payouts.
Mm-hmm. Because at 1.8,
And that's the tax that they're not getting. When you take that payout, that's your tax. And everybody who wins a lottery, you got that choice depending on which lottery it is, because you know there are different ones across the United States. Just like I guess Georgia's in Tennessee, I think in Florida, somebody else's is together. So it just depends on which one it is. You can take the payout, which still leaves people with millions, depending on how much it is. But when you take the payout, that's the whole purpose of the payout. They're getting their taxes off of it.
Yep. And plus you don't get no annuity.
Right.
So you take the annuity, that's they take the taxes out of it. Still, you're just getting so much
right.
A week, a month,
a month. It's actually a year.
However much it is, depending on. But I stand corrected. It wasn't the Mayo Clinic. I know you last was right. I thought about it. But it was a site I was researching. It was about disability and what we can do and what we can't do.
But you know the Mayo Clinic will probably have it.
I started investing right before I started investing. I was trying to figure out, okay, what can I do? You know, for as me being on disability, what can I invest?
There's some you can do some investing. You can work in all that stuff on disability, but you just can't work too many hours. You can't make too much money. Once you go over a certain amount,
5 or 20 hours a month. Yeah, because
I thought they would have increased that by now because that's been for years.
Read up on it because I was looking to go back to work, and from the instruction from the Ticket to Work program, I can work up to a year and make all the money I want and still collect my disability check. There's also a 5-year plan, whereas you work that 1 year, then you add 5 more years to it. What they'll do while you working a job, they'll hold your check. And so as that money builds up while you're working after that 5-year period, if you decided to continue to work and not go back on disability, or if you decided to go back to disability, they would give you that lump sum of that 5-year hold. Plus, they'll restart, since you're already in the system, they'll restart your benefits at the same amount that you were getting before you started working. So it's a lot of ways from what they explained to me. It's a lot of ways you can do it. You can quit after a year. Like I said, that 1 year, make all the money you want from whatever job, whatever you want to do, and your check will still be rolling. It's still be getting it. It was 9 months, but they added the other 3 months, so it's a year now. But actually, I was going back to, I wanted to go back to work when the health department put out a job thing for they needed help. So I was like, okay, I might go check that out. So I did fill out the application. But I get job offers every day. And phone calls for job offers. But yeah, you can do it for a whole year. You can do it for them 5. They will hold up your money, and after 5 years, they will give you a lump sum, and they will definitely have your check. Whatever date you get it on in that month, you'll get it. And it'll be just.
Well, as far as like I don't know the details as far as the work, but as far as the lottery goes, the IRS is going to is going to get theirs. That's
So
let's take that lump sum. They're going to get theirs.
Yeah, they gonna get
And,
theirs.
and then in Alabama, it says that they have 0, and that's probably because they don't have a lottery. But there's some way in them taxes in that tax book where it has asked, have you won? Have you had any type of winnings? Have they asked you about your farming equipment? You can best believe they're gonna ask you something about some taxes, about some winnings.
Go to the casino and win a whole bunch of money and see what they ask you about it.
They're gonna get their social security number.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because that's considered income.
Mm-hmm. And when you win money, I don't even understand that because you win. If you win, you win. But you know that's like the government always gonna get theirs. They always gonna, and it's not even there. But they're gonna always get some of your money. And then look at how reluctant they were to pay somebody to give somebody $1,200. That was $1,200 of our money. That was $1,200 of our money.
Like I said, I'm gonna find a place that ain't got nothing but water around it. And I let y'all fly on down there, and it'll be a resort for y'all to come down there, and we're gonna call it Michael's Island. And I'm gonna be Mr. Wilson, wearing a white suit with some short set, and y'all can fly in on one of them planes. It'll be just like Fantasy Island. I'll let y'all come on out there and chill out. I probably won't ever come back.
All right, y'all. I told you I gave you that warning now.
I know when you put me on the screen by myself.
I gave you that.
You was all gone. I better reach out to you and say, hey, you still with us?
I'm still with you, but that warning kicking in right now. That warning
And
kicking
your eyes is red as spot. You ready to go to sleep.
Look, I've been doing like a baby.
Yeah, I've been running. What this school season? Was school season kicked off?
Hey, it just more work been coming about. Everybody's short. I mean, just trying to between my private personal business and job. It's just been a strain lately. It's been a strain.
Yeah, it's beginning of the season. This weekend we got so many things going on this weekend, so it's a lot of stuff for everybody to get into. You got the play going on Saturday. You got the bike ride going on Sunday. Both of them are great events to be a part of. Once again, dollar sign Shauna B Moore. If you want to buy the $15 tickets, 2 and 7 o'clock shows. The 7 o'clock show is selling out very, very quick, so better get yours. If you plan on going, I understand that a lot of people are planning on going to the show. I know how Tuscaloosa is. They usually wait to the last minute. Y'all, this is the last minute. You got today and tomorrow to buy your tickets. For $15. After that, they go up. So at the day of the event, they're gonna be more than $15. It's $10 for a passenger at the also the set bike ride, and 25 if you're a rider. And that's starting at the Tuscaloosa Harley Davidson. If you know where TA Truck Stop is right across the street. You used to be where Route Tuesday and Pizza Hut used to be at over on Interstate Drive. Um, they starting there, and I think that's at 11 o'clock right there.
Right.
I'm doing all this from memory because I can't see that stuff. Starting at 11 o'clock, kickstands up at 11 o'clock, and it's going all the way down Highway 11, right?
Going to Utah and come back.
On Utah. So once again, that's those two big things going on this weekend. And we haven't heard anything else about the Friday night. What is it gonna be? It's gonna be Saturday Night Live now, right, Daryl?
Yeah, they hadn't posted anything that I know of when the next one is, but they did say it will be once a month soon.
Speaking of that, I think high school football starts tomorrow, so there's gonna be some games.
Teaching that kind of
Who did?
Start tomorrow.
There you go. So it's a weekend full of things to get into this weekend. Want everybody to be safe. Be careful because it's supposed to be a little bit of inclement weather. From what I understand, I think it's supposed to be some scattered stormy weather going on tomorrow. So be careful for that. Saturday and Sunday, I think it's supposed to be all right. So.
All right, y'all be safe. Be careful. First and foremost, be blessed. Pay attention to your surroundings. And I'll see y'all, talk to y'all on Tuesday.
That's right. And Daryl, get you some rest, man.
I'm going to get it.
You're gonna need it.
Yep. Oh yeah, I might be hiring some folks, so people that might be looking for part-time temporary work, I might be hiring. So I'll post it later on if anyone looking for a little extra cash.
There, you was the one that was talking about was paying $50 per hour.
Paying how much? Okay, all right. Okay, no. Okay.
You be holding on all the
I guess I said you gonna be working 2 hours.
It's time you to go.
You don't want to be working back over. You don't want to be working 5, 6, 7, 8.
You better get a 6-hour break.
Well, you just woke me up, so we're gonna end.
I'm sorry, Daryl. I need to wake you up.
We're gonna end it on that note right there. Y'all have a good weekend, y'all.
Hello? Hey, Rick. I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother?
I went down to Thomas' Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie, and I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Get your event jumping with Caroline Shines and Impulse Band. Impulse Band has been together for over 7 years, and they haven't missed a beat yet. The band has and will play in various venues and doesn't mind traveling to you. Being led by Alabama Blues Hall of Famer herself, Mrs. Caroline Shine. Impulse has opened up for Bobby Rush, L.J. Eccles, Tank, Fantasia, Calvin Richardson, just to name a few. The Impulse Band will surely fit your need for entertainment. Dial 205-887-6859 or 205-887-5026. Or you can just email them at shinesbrightly@yahoo.com. Caroline Shines and Impulse, the band made just for you.